Matt Davis, one of our city's organizers, and we're out here to do an exclusive interview with him on the incidents that transpired yesterday with the minivan hitting go to that video real quick so that you guys can see it real quick. So we're going to transition over to that.
My God.
We'll play the video one more time for those who are just coming in.
My God.
All right, Mr. Matt Davis. Again, this is Devontae with Real Indy News. We just played the video that was sent to us of demonstrators who were hit by a minivan yesterday. And we wanted to give you an opportunity to share your thoughts and to kind of clear up or give some clarity to what's going on, what happened, and what you know so far. So we're not going to ask any questions. We're going to allow you to do the talking and just share with us what's transpired.
No, I really appreciate the opportunity. Obviously, there's a lot of media narratives about what happened last night. It was very abrupt. It happened out of nowhere. So I appreciate the opportunity to just give a firsthand account because I don't know how much of the local news will actually tell the story as it was. So we were wrapping up the daily protests that you see out on the circle, right? A lot of the energy that you see out there is from younger people, people from all walks of life who are just passionate about the fight for racial justice, for changing criminal justice reform forever, if not, abolishing the police altogether. So you see that every single day. I'm one of the organizers. There's all these other groups and individuals and activists who help lead protests. I'm out there consistently, especially around in that area, to get people to try to focus around some demands. I work with the Indiana Racial Justice Alliance. We have some demands, and so that's what we were doing yesterday, talking about defunding the police, refunding our community programs and services, and just trying to make sure that we can change these things fundamentally and not let this moment move past us without any changes, and handshaking the mayor and hugging the police is not the solution. So that's what the protest was about. We were wrapping that up. Anybody who's been out there, especially on the circle, they know we do a certain type of wrap up when we were about to disperse, right? And then, and some people linger around, but this is even before that, right? And we're moving, and then if you don't know what DPW stands for, it's Department of Public Works. They were coming up the street to collect the rest of the barricades. Now, mind you, Monument Circle was open this time. Right, there were no barricades. I feel like after the sit-in last weekend, some people got real comfortable. You know what I mean? And it was no problem to just be like, well, the protests are over. Nobody's going to be out here. Let's start moving the barricades. The police had to post up there before, even when it wasn't curfew. All that was gone, right? And so then now DPW, Department of Public Works truck, same folks who do trash and all that good stuff, clean Indy parks, all that good stuff, right? They came through with a truck. She kind of thrusted at the crowd a little bit like, whoa, it's a lot of y'all, and I'm trying to get through, being really rude, right? That was a white woman, too. So she kind of, like, agitated us a little bit, and we were like, whoa, 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 whoa. We're not against you. We pay your salary, too, right? We pay for this truck that you in and trying to thrust into the crowd with. We pay for that, too. Department of Public Works. So we're against the police right now, not DPW, and that's video. There's video. There's a video clip of us saying that we are not against DPW. She started backing up, right? And then we went to talk to her, and as we're all resolving that little conflict, because I'm telling you, we nonviolent out there, and not only that, we trying to problem solve not in small ways, but also in these bigger ways for this department, and we solving it. And we all literally looking over here, and then here's a whole nother Karen in a whole nother minivan coming through, barreling through the crowd. She did the same kind of thrust, and then she barreled through the crowd.
You want us to play that video real
Sure.
Oh my God!
And then she kept
Oh my God!
She bit her lip and just put her foot on the gas, y'all. And like that, for me, especially watching from afar, I'm walking over and I'm seeing people go up on the hood and come off the side of the car, right? That, like that, for especially for me as someone, these are impromptu, damn near pop-up type of demonstrations from people who don't have a lot of experience with civil disobedience. You see what I mean? So somebody who's experienced, that's horrifying for me. That these are the situations that are created by the police, right? I'm not trying to blame everything on the police, but that should still have been barricaded. And also, on the circle, pedestrians have the right of way, bar none. Bar none. Pedestrians have the right of way. So she would have had to have waited, even if it was just two people right there. She would have had to have waited. And so the fact that she was not arrested for that, she was not charged with anything. There were people who told the police what happened, but nothing happened on the other end. In fact, the police tried to detain somebody whose hand was bleeding from her barreling through the crowd. So it's amazing to me how we see police and how the police see themselves in a situation like this, which was obviously motivated by bigotry and hate. And even if you don't take it that far, at least bias. Why would you put your foot on the gas, though? That felt like, especially for me, and I'm not trying to exaggerate here, but that felt like a Charlottesville situation. And I'm glad that there were just mainly like bad cuts and bruises, right? Imagine if it was worse. Imagine like how that would hang over what we're doing.
Now, can you speak to the officer that we put on the screen? Can you talk a little bit about how that transpired and him letting those things happen?
I was nowhere around for that. I just stayed on the circle to keep everything chill. Now, other people tracked down some video and tracked down some photos of her license plate. I didn't take the original video. I believe her name is I can't remember her name. I don't need to say it right now. It is on the video, obviously at the bottom of the video. But she took the video. I didn't take the video. I didn't take any pictures. I stayed on the circle. And then as things calmed down on the circle, I went home. Other people started sending me pics of her license plate, and the officer. Now, I do want to say something about this officer. I've been volunteering with Black Lives Matter and just this whole movement for not just the George Floyd uprising that we're seeing, but also long-term with the Drajon Reed case and the other two people who were killed in 8 hours in the span of like a night, it felt like. It's just like, wow, this is incredible, right? So all month we've been fighting against IMPD. That particular officer right there is out there on 62nd Street when there's a major demonstration. That was the same cop that we ran into when we was coming back down the street, when we was leaving the whole hug the cop photo op. And for the record, and I say this until I'm blue in the face, y'all. They did not march with us. They did not march with us. They acted like they did. I tried to pull Malik away. Then he disappeared with the police, and then we kept going 55 blocks down the road. I just wanted to say that before I continue. At 16th Street, there was a caravan of cars that was following us. That day, from the governor's mansion day, we all talking about it, right? That day, when we got to 16th Street, they really was about to bring us smoke. It was that same cop. He said, you got to at least get the cars out of here. We got the cars out of here. Those cars went home safe. It was that same cop. And then, yesterday, he was nowhere on the circle at all, right? But somehow, he's the one that detained her, got a report, and let her go. What I'm getting at is, not only, again, I'm not trying to blame every single thing on the police, but I just need y'all to see how the department is implicit to all these things when it comes to public health and when it comes to public safety. Like, racism has been declared a public health crisis in this city, and it's stuff like this that helps you realize that. You see what I mean? If this is the type of cop that's overseeing these protests, that's a telltale sign of what's wrong with how IMPD sees people peacefully, nonviolently protesting against their violence, brutality, and harassment.
So, Matt, speak to this informant piece that keeps swirling around in our city about your place in all of this. Speak to that. What's going on with that?
I don't. Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, again, I don't. There's not a lot to say there. You see what I mean? Like, also, I don't think it's swirling around. I think that there's a small little echo chamber of people who like the black influencers who like to play like they're leaders. You see what I'm saying? And try to like inflate their own ego and what they're doing or what I'm not doing or whatever. But I'm consistently working. I've been the only one working with, you know what I mean, Indy 10 and Faith in Indiana and the Indiana Racial Justice Alliance. You see what I'm saying? I've been working with several groups and just trying to bring people together. And then now there are other activists, there are other organizers who are coming along and helping now, right? You see what I mean? That's the only role I've been playing. That's been my only intention. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I don't work with the police. I don't talk with the police. You see me identify the police so that you can help identify the police, especially like that same cop who didn't arrest Karen last night. You need to know his face. People are posting about him. You see what I'm saying? I'm not even posting that. You see what I mean? So I'm not talking to the police. I'm not working with the police. That's not how we roll. I do have some demands for the IMPD, me personally, because I'm a part of Indiana Racial Justice Alliance, and we have 4 collective demands of different organizations in the alliance who have some demands for IMPD. That is the only basis or grounds upon which I see myself engaging with IMPD is to change it as an institution, and I am only doing that as a grassroots group trying to fight for broader racial justice in this crazy-ass racist city.
So talk about the demonstrators who were out there yesterday who were impacted by being hit by this minivan. What are their emotions? What are those who follow the movement's emotions? What is the temperature of the city right now
Right.
behind this?
Right. I want to say one more thing on that informant thing real quick. And again, I'm not trying to start anything weird with the news, you know, independent news and Indy. I promise I'm not. I don't mean. I'm just using this platform to say this. But, you know, if you following Black Indy Live, go ahead and unfollow me, block me, whatever you need to do. I'm not doing it because the swirling of the informant thing, that's where that came from. I never talk with them. They've never interviewed me. They never anything. They making these claims about me, and there's absolutely no evidence, and I don't play that. And if you see me out here working, you can talk to me directly, and you can feel that that's not the case. So that's that on that, and that's all I'm gonna leave there. In terms of the
Before we move forward on that, understand. I want all of our viewers to understand that Real Indie News is unbiased. We're unbiased, so we're not saying Real Indie News is not saying unfollow Black Indie Live. We're not saying any of that. Understand, guys, that Real Indie News is unbiased. So whatever shared on this live, this is not coerced by Real Indie News. This is all Matt Davis. So can you go on account sharing that?
Yes. Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Trust me, these are not their views. This is not the views or the opinions of this platform at all. I don't even know if y'all talk to them. This is all I'm saying. I'm letting y'all know that. You see what I mean? I don't do that. They ain't never interviewed me. They ain't never talked to me. They making claims about me, and they have absolutely no evidence. If you think I'm a fed, please show me. Because if you ask me, I'm the only one outing the informants. But I'm going to get to that another day. So anyway, in terms of the temperature of what's going on with the protests, the temperature was going on with the movement. After Karen came through with the minivan Karen or whatever, I don't know this woman's name, right? Everybody's posting about her. Again, these are pictures that people are sending me. I bet you I know by the end of the day, though, I'm telling you, it's starting to get around, right? She has not been arrested. They took a statement from her. It's terrible. That right there enraged a lot of people, right? Especially on a day where the police are easing up on the barricades, right? So you don't want us to protest, and you create a situation where it's dangerous, and then now people are like, man, how does the department constantly keep messing up? Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, they just keep messing up, right? And it's true. And it's true. Just like on Saturday, right? It was a sit-in. Andre Carson used to be a cop. You know what I mean? A district attorney. I mean, like Joe Hogsett used to be the top cop in the state appointed by Obama, right? We are talking about people who have worked in law enforcement coming to a sit-in and not speaking to any demands and not really directly saying, thank you for advocating for this issue. I am happy to meet this demand. Not saying that, right? Not saying it, not acknowledging the groups, right? Not acknowledging it. And then the police say, if you keep marching past curfew, we will engage you, right? If certain people weren't there that night after curfew, they would have lit us up. How do the police keep on messing up every single time? They mess up every single time. And even yesterday, that had nothing to do with the police per se. But how do you then make that situation worse? That's where the temperature is. If you want to know where the temperature of the protest, the temperature of the resistance in general, that's where it's at. And we're not standing for it. And today we're going to reclaim the circle. And I think the rain going to work out for us because we need that circle back because we're not standing for this. She needs to be arrested. And IU, you need to fire her. And if you don't fire her, I'm telling you, we're not going to forget it.
So you guys seem as if you have some deep information on this lady. Seem like people are outraged. What do people need to do?
You said today?
Yeah. What needs to be done?
Today, let's meet on a circle at 3 o'clock. It was going to be 4, but we don't know about the weather. So let's meet at 3. Bring a sign about defunding the police and why it's important. Whether that's a percentage or you feel like they shouldn't exist and you need to defund them and do something different. It doesn't matter where you are on that spectrum. Bring a sign about defunding them, a percentage or the whole damn thing. And then the other thing is, if you don't do that, bring a sign about what you feel like the black community needs, right? Because we need to refund our communities and defund some of their budget, right? Bring 1 or 2 signs if you can, if you got time, right? And what we are trying to do is show them that we own this city, y'all. The circle is indicative of that. There's a lot of racist symbols on that circle, right? So it's important that we speak out against systemic racism right there on that circle. And trust me, the Indiana Racial Justice Alliance, we're going to be planning a lot of other things across the city too. But that circle is important, especially after yesterday, because that in itself was unjust. If not motivated by hate, if not motivated by bigotry, it was definitely biased as hell. And we're not having it. And if you're not having it, and you ain't here to hug the cops and kiss the cops and let hate crimes go, then come down there and meet us at 3, because we're going to be passing out these too. These are the demands from the Racial Justice Alliance. I'll hold these up for you. Defund IMPD to refund community programs and services. Create community-led external review board. We sitting there always barking about accountability and transparency. You can't do that if you don't have any citizen oversight. If you don't have no citizen participation with the police. Every single thing they do, we should know about. As a department, we pay for it, don't we? We pay for it. We should know about it. Have an external review board. There's other places that have done this right. To really give that teeth. The third one is to put internal affairs of IMPD, which is their HR department. Put that under that external review board. That's why you created it. So give it teeth. Because trust me, they bite us every day. It's about time we bite back. The last one is about the FOP. Make sure they have independent liability insurance. That's important. So when they kill somebody in these police action shootings, no, police action murders, when they murder people in our community, especially people who are unarmed, but even if you got arms, when they murder people in our community, they need to pay for it. They don't get disciplined. They don't get convicted. They don't get charged. They don't get arrested. They don't go to jail. And guess what? They don't pay for a goddamn thing. The citizens, you and me, we pay for it. FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police. That's a police union. Their member base, their money should pay for that. Not you, not me. We done. We done with that. The FOP contract is up in December. We fighting all 6 months. We fighting until the end of the year. And I'm telling you, come 2021, we're going to have an entirely different IMPD. And I need y'all to fight. I promise you I'm going to stick with it All these groups you see out here, they fighting hard, y'all. I promise you, it ain't just about ego and all of that. Yeah, some of that, oh, so-and-so's a cop, he was an informant. But hold on, I went from an informant, but now I look like this, and then now, you see what I mean? Don't listen to the gossip. Let's keep working. We got 4 demands for the system, y'all. Let's change the system. Let's keep it focused right there. I hope to see y'all at 3 o'clock.
Matt, just real quick, first I want to say thank you. Just what would be your last words to those who are watching today? What do they need to know? What needs to be understood? What is it that you want to tell them in these last 2 minutes that we have together?
Okay. No, I appreciate. I seriously appreciate the time, and again, my comments about other platforms and how they have smeared me have nothing to do with this platform. You asked me a question, so I just wanted to address it directly and tell you what mouth that was coming out of. I think what I want to leave people with right now, man, is just the fact that if we don't get this right now, we're not gonna get it. You know, like if we don't change the police department here locally right now, it is going to be so hard to change them after this, whenever the after this is. If you ask the police, if you ask IMPD, I guess it ended Saturday. The way that they act and the way that they letting the circle go amok. You see what I mean? The way that they letting peaceful protests just get hit by racist, minivan drivers. Like, if we don't get this now, it's going to be so much harder to get. So those 4 demands that you're seeing so many people pushing, it's important to the process, right? Because this isn't just a moment. Like, we have to consistently keep doing this, and just we have to get it right now. Like, there's no time like right now to do this, and I hope you can continue fighting and look up Indiana Racial Justice Alliance on Facebook, and let's just keep fighting and let's keep it about the system.
Again, Matt Davis, we want to say thank you for taking time out to do an exclusive interview with Real Indy News. And again, today there will be a peaceful, I ain't even going to say peaceful. There will be a protest. It'll be a nonviolent protest on Monument Circle at 3 p.m. So we'll be posting information about that on the page. Again, the Real Indy News is a independent organization, so we ask that you please follow us on all of our social media platforms, such as Facebook at Real Indy News. You can follow us on Instagram at Real Indy News. And then if you support what we have going on here at Real Indy News, you support what we're doing, bringing you the raw, uncut, real news that's going on in the city, we need you to donate. We're an independent news source, so your donations will help us keep going. And there's 2 ways to give. You can give on paypal.me/Real Indy News, paypal.me/Real Indy News, or you can give by way of Cash App at $Real Indy News. Listen, we need all of the donations possible so that we can continue to bring you real, raw, uncut, real relevant news here in the city of Indianapolis. Again, this is Devontae with Real Indy News. We just interviewed Mr. Matt Davis. We thank Matt for taking time out to interview with us.